Question 2d, Part 1. Write 8 cos x plus 6 sin x in the form a cos x minus alpha, where a is greater than 0 and alpha is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to pi over 2. A cos x minus alpha is identical to 8 cos x plus 6 sin x. Expanding the left-hand side, we have a cos alpha cos x plus a sin alpha sin x is identical to 8 cos x plus 6 sin x. Now, equating the coefficients of cos x on both sides of the identity and also for sin x on both sides of the identity, we have a cos alpha is equal to 8 and a sin alpha is equal to 6. This enables us to form two equations in a and alpha. So we have a cos alpha is equal to 8 and a sin alpha is equal to 6, which will solve simultaneously for a and alpha. Taking both equations, squaring them and adding them together, we have a squared cos squared alpha plus a squared sin squared alpha is equal to 8 squared plus 6 squared. Factorising out a squared, we have a squared outside of cos squared alpha plus sin squared alpha is equal to 100. And cos squared alpha plus sin squared alpha is equal to 1 because this is a Pythagorean identity. Which means that a squared equals 100, and taking the positive square root of both sides, we get a equals 10. Now taking equation number 2 and dividing it by equation number 1, which eliminates the a, we have a sin alpha divided by a cos alpha is equal to 6 divided by 8. And on the left-hand side, the a's will cancel, and sin alpha divided by cos alpha is tan alpha. So we have tan alpha is equal to 3 over 4. Hence, alpha is equal to inverse tan of 3 over 4. Therefore, 8 cos x plus 6 sin x is identical to 10 times cos of x minus alpha, where alpha is equal to inverse tan of 3 over 4. Part 2. Hence or otherwise, solve the equation 8 cos x plus 6 sin x equals 5 for x greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 2 pi. Give your answers correct to 3 decimal places. Solve 8 cos x plus 6 sin x equals 5 by expressing the left-hand side as a single trigonometric ratio of a compound angle. Now from part 1, we found that 8 cos x plus 6 sin x is identical to 10 cos of x minus alpha, where alpha is equal to inverse tan of 3 over 4. So replacing the left-hand side of the equation with 10 cos of x minus alpha, solve for x, 10 cos of x minus alpha equals 5. Dividing both sides of the equation by 10, we have cos of x minus alpha is equal to half. Now this is a positive ratio, which means the angle x minus alpha will be in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. So x minus alpha is equal to pi over 3 or 5 pi over 3. We get that by taking the inverse cos of both sides. Now adding alpha to pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3, where alpha is inverse tan of 3 over 4, we have x is equal to pi over 3 plus inverse tan of 3 over 4, or 5 pi over 3 plus inverse tan of 3 over 4. And rounding both of these values to 3 decimal places, we have x is equal to 1.691 or 5.879.